So the designer notes / patch notes for Operation Heavy Metal are here, and as always, we're going to jump into it and take a look. Now, firstly, we have the win delta graph for both attack and defense. No surprise here, Ayana is way at the top for attack. Same on both sides. This is console. It sort of like flips between PC and console. Ace and Ashe also making their way up there. Ace is just an amazing operator. I love Ace. But those three are in the top 3 positions. Ashe and Ace do switch between console and PC, but you know, it is those 3 at the top. Something to keep an eye on is more so on PC. You know, I mean, Buck and Sledge are up there on console as well, but on PC, as you can see, Buck and Sledge are quite high. Expect with Ram being in the game, Ram is probably going to, you know, knock those 2 down, like, a lot. Let's move on to defense. This is a complete joke, by the way. Warden and Thorn being the most picked defenders over Azami, Fenrir, and Solace. Mozzie making his way up there on console as well. That's a complete joke. This just shows how poor balancing is when it comes to the 1.5 times scope. Thorn should have never have got the 1.5. Warden shouldn't get the 1.5. Both of these operators should have their gadgets buffed. We shouldn't be giving them the 1.5, and because you can see, it just pushes them up there. I mean, that's why Mozzie's so high on console as well, because of the 1.5. He has a good gadget, though, unlike Thorn and Warden. But the fact these 2 operators have a higher pick rate than all of these operators, like Valk, Mute, Mozzie, Fenrir, Kaid, Jaeger, Azami, it's a complete joke. That should not be happening in this game. Remove the 1.5 from these operators, and actually put some effort into buffing their gadgets. If Warden and Thorn want to be this high up on the chart, fine, but it has to be because of their gadgets, not because they have a crutch 1.5. Anyway, let's move on to the rest of it. We have the ban rates. You know, it's the same bans. Dokkaebi making their way up there since Dokkaebi is very meta. Console players not banning Dokkaebi as much. They're rather no banning over Dokkaebi. That's really interesting. They're banning Fuse. That's also interesting. I mean, Fuse is a great operator, so maybe he's harder to counter on console, but yeah, a very high ban rate for Fuse. Yeah, Ayana also making it on the PC charts as well. I mean, I do ban Ayana just because I like to annoy the enemies. Let's take a look at console. Capcan at top. Kaid, Fenrir. I'm pretty sure Kaid's going to be top for PC if I'm not wrong. No, Mira is still the highest picked defender on PC. I mean, sorry, highest banned. That's very weird. I never ban Mira. I don't think she's, you know, I don't think it's worth banning Mira these days. I think console have got it right. Mira is very counterable. I don't think she deserves a ban. Capcan, I guess I understand people don't want to deal with traps. Fenrir is very understandable. I mean, I don't think they've nerfed him, but, you know, that is kind of crazy. Fenrir is very high up. For a new defender, him being, what, 3rd place on console, 2nd place on PC? Yeah, that's crazy. But let's go on. Let's read this. He does say something about 1.5. Okay, let's read this. We've been observing both Ayana and Warden's continuous ascent to the top tiers of presence in matches. We are aware of the situation and the issues behind it. Ayana's high presence is mainly driven by her access to frag grenades, while Warden's high presence relates to the strength of the 1.5 sights on defender loadouts. The community sentiments of these topics are in alignment with ours. These operators need changes, and we'll take action. Okay, so never mind. Okay, I'll take back what I said at the beginning then. They are going to be changing this. That's good. Let's read the rest of this. This mid-season patch adjustment is aimed at allowing more operator diversity in matches in the short term. But we are working in parallel on a bigger solution that will attend the balance situation of frag grenades and the 1.5 times sight within Siege. Both elements are widespread throughout our lineup of operators. We know that shuffling them around is not a sustainable option, and that's why we are taking the time to polish a more sustainable set of changes that should open up more balancing options, allow us to make less binary changes in the future. So frag grenades and 1.5 are getting changed. I would like to correct Ubisoft here. Ayana's high presence rate isn't because of the frag grenades. It's because she also has a good weapon and a strong gadget. Frag grenades are a massive part of it, you know, don't get me wrong. But I think there's more to Ayana than just the frag grenades. But they're completely right about Warden. Like, Warden is 1.5, that's it. I mean, Thorn's there as well. So I don't know. Let's read the balancing changes. So Fuse, the cluster charge can now go on deployable shields and talon shields. We saw that in the reveal trailer. You can now place Fuse charges on both shields, which is very interesting. It'll go straight through to the other side. Nothing really we don't know here. Though there is a cost, as with any other bulletproof class, the cluster charge will shatter the shields when drilling it successfully. So yeah, if you place Osa shield and you place cluster charge on it, it will also smash the shield. The shield will still be there, but it'll just crack it so you can't see through. This they didn't say in the reveal. Zero's cameras can now also go through Osa shields and deployable shields. That is massive. So it's saying that although if you place it on a mirror shield, it won't crack it, therefore this won't crack the shields. So Fuse gadget on these shields will shatter it, Zero will not shatter it. Okay, that's quite interesting. We saw this one. This is the Grim buff. He now has the bouncy option of his gadget. Basically, you can make it bounce off walls, then deploy, or you can have it as it currently is. It's a really nice buff to Grim, and it's very well deserved. I'm sure you guys have already seen that already, so I'm not going to go much in depth into that. I assume this is talking about Grim? Oh no, it's talking about Lesion. I think they forgot to like headline this section. Right, yeah, this is Lesion. This is the massive Lesion change. Gadget refill timer reduced to 20 seconds from 30 seconds. Max resources increased to 9 mines, so Lesion now has 9 mines. This was meant to be in here, I think. I don't know. They've kind of messed up this section, but it says gadget type is now mechanical, so Lesion is no longer affected by EMPs. Initial damage now 5 HP from 0. Poison damage now 12 HP from 8. Poison timer is reduced to 2 seconds from 2.5. Cloaking is removed. HUD icon removed. Okay, so you can't see it. Stepping on a goo mine while being affected by another will reset the poison timer and deal the poison damage immediately, so it stacks on top of each other. And they've added the area of effect on it as well. That is a lot. That's a lot to Lesion. And there's more. They've added the super shorty to him. Like, that's so much. Have they like removed his impacts or something like that? Because he's got the super shorty. What's the point in bringing impact nades now? Or I mean, the impacts can be used on more then. That's crazy. There's nothing really in here which is kind of, you know, changing that much. Saying they turned the mines into a threat again, but the mines were fine before. The mines were perfectly fine before. Also, it mentions here, IQ will no longer be able to detect goo mines, and Brava won't be able to hack them either. So EMPs don't affect goo mines, IQ can't see them, and Brava can't hack them. So they're mechanical now rather than... I mean, it makes sense that they're mechanical, I guess. They're just like little poison needles. So I guess that makes sense, but it's quite a lot. This is a nerf to deployable shields. Hitting the shield with a melee will shatter the glass on bulletproof shields. So the little slits, which are bulletproof on bulletproof shields, that will now shatter them. Interesting. Every shotgun, excluding the Bosch G, the TCS G12, and the ACS 12, have the following changes. Ranges are normalized into 3 stages. So in 0 to 5 meters, each pellet deals 100% of base damage. 6 to 10 meters, it's 75% of base damage, and 13 meters and above is 45% of base damage. That's massive. Even though it's like 45, that's a lot. Headshot modifier. A pellet getting the headshot modifier deals with 1.5 times the damage after its range modifier. Okay, so they've added headshot modifiers to shotguns now. That wasn't a thing before. Hipfire spread has been revised and redistributed across the board. I think that means hipfire will be more for opening walls. ADSing will be more for shooting people, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's actually what it says here. Shooting while aiming down will result in a tighter spread across the board. Note that this effect is not new, just being increased to reward players when aiming down sights. So I think with shotguns now, if you want to get the kill, you should aim down sight, and if you want to make rotate holes, you should hit fire. I think that's the whole thing there. And moving increases the spread. So if you're moving with your shotgun and you're shooting, the spread will be bigger since you are moving about. The goal here is to reward good practices such as aiming in the head or holding angles. This is something I've just got to try when the test server drops. I can't really make an opinion on this right now, but I feel like shotguns are definitely going to be more meta than they currently are. This is the quick match changes, which is now quick match, but unranked is now called normal or something like that. They've changed the name. The base changes of quick match now is the action phase is faster, so there's less time. The operator pick phase is also faster. Additionally, if the round did not involve a roll swap, the operator pick phase is reduced to 15 seconds. Okay, so if it's going like defense to defense, it's even faster. Prep phase is 30 seconds from 45. Objection locations are automatically revealed for attackers to start the round. Of course, this is all quick match just to make the game faster. Clearance level for quick match has been increased to 10. Okay. So is there like a newcomer mode or something like that? Or you got to do like the tutorial mode to get to level 10? That's interesting. We made some tweaks to the matchmaking algorithm, so you'll find quick matches faster. We'll be applying a soft reset to the casual skill level algorithm to bring everyone close together, which should result in finding matches even faster. Again, this is something I just have to try before I can make an opinion on it. There's going to be pre-setups now in casual, so some walls will be already reinforced, there'll some be already existing rotates. Again, that's just to make it a faster mode, which I guess is pretty good, because, you know, that means you don't have to set off sight as much. You can just focus on operator gadgets and, you know, get that core siege experience, but at a faster rate, you know, which I think is quite cool. Attacker safeguards, so there's going to be spawn immunity in quick match now, so it's going to, you know, slow it down on spawn peeking. This will obviously still be a thing in ranked and stuff like that. You can still spawn peek in ranked, but they're kind of trying to, you know, tone it down a bit for casual just to make it a bit more fair, which I think is fine. Base changes, removal of operator map ban phases. I'm pretty sure this is in unranked, by the way. They've not titled these sections very well. Like, if this was in ranked, I'd be over the moon, but it's not. Overtime rounds changed to 1 from 3. Again, I think that's unranked. Clearance level ability changed to 0. What are we talking about here? Is this the standard playlist? So they've sort of gotten rid of unranked and made it standard, but standard is more like old casual. So technically, they've sort of just removed unranked, made quick match a new mode, made standard quick match. And so honestly, the thing that's been removed here is unranked, because it's 0. We remain in a competitive cluster to tactical in order to better inform players about the type of players can be found inside. This patch notes they've not been put together very well, but so yeah, like, unranked can just been removed. They're saying they've changed the name to unranked to standard, but when you look at the changes that came to standard, that's just old casual. So now casual is standard, quick match is now a different form of quick match, and ranked's ranked. So unranked's gone. Okay, I don't know how I feel about that. But these are very interesting patch notes. The best thing I can take from this is the 1.5 changes, which will be coming in mid-season. I'm interested to hear about that, but yeah. Yeah, pretty interesting notes. So let me know your thoughts, and yeah, follow for more Rainbow Six content. Have a good one.